What's up, my wizards? Dev from the SBMTG, that's Strictly Better Magic the Gathering. I'm here today with who?
Tony.
Right, as usual. We're going to do our Dragons of Tarkir Black set review today. We're going in reverse order, so we're almost home. We're more than halfway home now. I think we can probably go ahead and kick it off. Yeah. We'll see about black. Yeah. Foreshadowing. Our first card that we want to look at today, this is Acid Spewer Dragon, and we can move on. No, seriously.
Seriously, it's just another one of the uncommon 3/3 dragons for 6. It's got flying and death touch, so it's a little more relevant than the others.
Yeah, death touch is good.
Yeah, death touch, first strike, hexproof. Those three are the only abilities we've seen on these.
Specifically, those three are good.
And
I don't know if I'd say good, but
they're acceptable. Yeah,
this is probably acceptable and sealed. Like I said yesterday, you know, I hate on these during the set reviews, but when I open it and seal it, I'll be like, I'll probably play this.
Moving right along, though, we have a card that I will actually kind of look forward to playing in sealed.
Yeah, I'll play this in sealed.
We've got Embuscade Shaman.
I think you did as good as anyone could with that.
Embuscade Shaman. One way or the other, like, you've got options for this guy.
Yeah, I definitely think that he sees good sealed play. I mean, obviously, he does. I think he's good enough to go in the dash check, like not get cut from the dash check. Obviously, he's a fire card in the limiteds. But we could probably move on because this card's exciting.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best black cards in the set.
Yeah, which is saying a lot because we don't know how much we actually love this card, but it's an exciting card. This is Blood Chin Fanatic. Yeah, I like Blood Chin. I've thought a lot about this guy, you know, while I was doing the spoiler video for him and all the way up to now. I think about this guy a lot. I love Warriors. I think that's going to be a good deck.
Yeah, Warriors just seems to be getting stronger and stronger with each set that's been coming out.
Yeah, lately. Absolutely. This seems like a really good piece for Warriors.
Yeah, if nothing else, like, you know, maybe, I think in some of our playtesting stuff with Warriors, it's around like turn 5, turn 6 kind of finish if you get a full good aggro draw.
Yeah, if everything goes right.
Yeah, so...
it's a little too slow for the other aggro decks in the format. It doesn't compete well with other aggro decks.
Yeah, so this will be that thing that helps you like push across for the final win, because after you swing in with everything, you can get some extra damage out of your highest power guys by being able to sack them for just 2 mana.
Exactly. I picture this... two ways you can use this. First of all is, you know, you swing in for whatever, 5, 6, and then you get that couple extra damage in by sacrificing guys, and you win the game that way because you can end up, you know, turning a swing of 6 into a swing of 12 if you have the mana for it. So there's that. And then there's also the sort of against other aggro decks, you're gaining that life, so it's giving you a little bit of reach against those decks. Now you have to sacrifice guys, so you're losing board position against other aggro decks. So there's kind of a give and take looked at from that angle. But I do think that Bloodchin will all try to play it. We'll all try to play the guy and see, you know. I haven't play tested with him yet. I do want one of my decks to be Black-White Warriors. Just one of the, specifically so I can play with this guy. Yeah. And see how good he is. But for now, I think that he's got lots of potential.
Oh, yeah. Moving on, though, we've got another fine warrior card. 2 mana, 2/2. 2 mana bear. Bloodchin Razor. And when he attacks, warrior creatures you control can't be blocked this turn except by 2 or more creatures. So that's really going to help you get your guys through in your warriors deck.
I am all on board with this card. I'm on the train. I'm not on the caboose. I'm up front driving the train on this one.
We actually get a good, reasonable effect off of it instead of a drawback.
Messing up combat in that way is a really, really desirable effect. Yeah, very good.
And it's also really important against the other aggro decks.
Yeah, we were just talking about other aggro decks, you know, how it doesn't stack up very well. But this helps it go a long way, you know.
Because the aggro decks now, like if they want to try, if they do have anything open for blocking that they weren't able to swing with, now they have to choose on whether or not they can actually... block or not.
They can't just like leave their Siege Rhino up forever or something, you know. And there are a lot of stuff. Of course, there are Crewfix and Sylvan Carry to become less of a thing because, you know, you have to worry about them blocking. And that's right now for aggro decks in the format. Those 2 cards are the major hurdles, the speed bumps. So this card helps you get around those very, very easily. And I like Rager a lot. I actually might like him more than Fanatic for those decks, you know, because I think that with Fanatic as a question, Rager is pretty much an auto include though. So
yeah, I can get behind that.
We can move on, though.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of my favorite combat tricks in the set, actually. This is Butcher's Glee. And, you know, usually in every set, Black gets one decent combat trick. This is this one this time around. First of all, the lifelink is not negligible. It's very good. Regenerate is incredibly important. That means it will definitely survive no matter what. Yeah.
And the +3/+0 means you are more than likely going to be able to kill whatever you trade with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a guaranteed, like, at least 3-point life gain.
Yep. At least 4, really.
Yeah, at least a 4-point life
You're swinging with
gain.
your 0, and they're like, you're doing a thing. This, I like that it has offensive and defensive applications. You know, you get that extra damage and the lifelink through. The lifelink is just so good on this card, honestly. In some ways, I'd rather it be flying because, I mean, obviously this is black, that's not going to happen, but I'd rather it be flying because, you know, all the dragons and stuff in this set would be a little more relevant in sealed, but same time, lifelink is always relevant in limited play. It's a very good ability.
I would rather have it be just Death Touch and regenerated because that way it's a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, true. I'd love it to be Death Touch, but we'll see that card soon.
Yes.
It's actually, excuse me, it's the next card.
Yeah.
So let's move on to this, actually.
Moving on, though, we get Coat with Venom. It's Black's other really good combat trick.
This is a fantastic
1
combat
mana,
trick. Yep.
That's great. You get a 2 toughness bonus out of that, so it does help ensure your guys' survival, as well as gaining Death Touch, so you're guaranteed to kill something if it gets blocked.
Guaranteed. If they have black in their deck at the pre-release, I would play around this card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, any creature that...
I would be playing around this and...
both of them. Butcher's Glee.
Moving on, we have another card that is underratedly incredible.
Yeah, we talked about this. I think the first reading of this, it's underwhelming. You don't care.
By the way, this is Corpse Weft.
Corpse Weft.
A 3 mana for an enchantment that just kind of sits there to not seem like it's going to do much of anything. That seems like a bad investment. However, for 2 mana to exile 1 or more creature cards from your graveyard and get double that power toughness out of it.
Should remove 2 guys, you get a 4/4. That's pretty good.
For 2 mana.
Yeah.
A 2 mana 4/4 for removing 2 guys from your graveyard.
I mean, it would be an overtime investment of 5, but that's still fine because you get to make more guys. And we've got so much stuff in the format that enables Delve. You know, we have Wayfinder Satyr. We have Commune with the Gods. You know,
you've got
Tormenting Voice
that'll help you get here. We've got Wayfinding Satyr that'll help you get your land drops.
Oh, you Satyr Wayfinder. That's the guy.
Oh, Satyr Wayfinder, yeah.
Either way, I mean, it's that
dyslexia.
guy. I really want this card to break into Standard. You know, I think this is one of those that people just look at and they dismiss immediately. But this is added value. I wish that it cost 1 mana less to play it. Its casting cost was 1 mana less.
But, it was like 2 mana to play and 2 mana to activate.
I'm never satisfied.
Yeah, we always want things to be
Sometimes
cheaper.
I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied.
And it still can happen at instant speed.
Yeah, you can do this instant speed. That's really good.
Yeah,
you can do this during a combat step and get a 6/6 or something. You know, it's really not hard to get a 6/6. That's 3 creatures, 3 whole creatures in your graveyard. Big deal. You know, it's not that hard to get. So I like it. But probably moving on. Are you ready? I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm just making sure.
We got the next card.
This is Is it my turn?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. We got Damnable Pact. I've had a lot to say about this card during the spoiler video. And it all, I think, stands up the same. Aggro could play this. I don't think it slots into control. But aggro could play this pretty easily, either to draw itself a few cards or to sort of fireball or profane command those last few points of life that it needs to win the game.
Yeah. So. And I'm on board with Devin there because I've used Sign in Blood for that. And Sign in Blood is just 2 mana for draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
Yeah. The thing is, Sign in Blood is... Some people... I have heard that, the comparison to Sign in Blood. People say Sign in Blood is strictly better than this, but those people don't understand the definition of strictly better, you know?
Yeah, this is actually going to be strictly better because you can judge how many cards you're going to draw if you're using it for yourself, or how much life you're going to hit your opponent for when you actually go for them.
That's the thing, is people are like, well, you can Sign in Blood them too, you know, and that's whatever. But I don't want to pay 4 mana for Sign in Blood either, but I don't mind paying 6 mana for 4 damage, or 4 cards, you know. That makes this, I think, maybe not better than Sign in Blood. Sign in Blood's seen a lot of play in its day.
I'm going to say it is just on par with Sign in Blood.
I do like Damnable Pact. I'm not sure about Standard, but you know how every color gets a few cards that break into Standard? I think this is a candidate.
Yeah, again, we've seen white-black warrior decks, and this could be a potential kind of finisher for them.
That's what we were talking about before we started shooting this video, is that it could be a good finisher for warriors. So. Yeah. But moving on, here's a silly card.
Yeah, this is so silly. Deadly Wanderings, 5 mana enchantment. and as long as you control exactly one creature, that creature gets +2/+0 and has Death Touch and Lifelink.
Yeah.
This could be, I mean, potentially a limited bomb if you're going for that kind of build where you just have like a few creatures and you're trying to build the battleship.
When your one creature is a 6/6 flyer, you know.
Yeah, that means he becomes a 8/6 flyer with Death Touch, Lifelink.
Just unstoppable juggernaut, you know.
Yeah, that's really relevant.
I don't really like this card at all. At all. But watch, someone will come by and be like, you only need the one creature, idiot, and then just like make something with this. But even if you had a deck that only played the one creature or something, like this would just be one more, I think. So,
yeah.
Screw this card.
Moving right along though, we get Deathwind.
Deathwind.
Black and X at instant speed, and target creature gets neg X until end of turn.
Now, what we were talking about strictly better a second ago. This is a strictly better Heat Ray. Heat Ray was a card we've seen in Standard a few times. It's a red card. It's at instant speed. X and a red, deal X damage to target creature. This is strictly better because it can kill indestructible creatures.
This is very true. That was the point I was going to make about this. Neg X gets around indestructible guys, which is very important because we still have gods in this format, and they are seeing play.
Gets around guys with Regenerate, aka your Rakshasa Death Dealer in Standard, you know. Just does good things. I just think that in Standard, you know, we have we have way better removal spells. Like stuff like this is more or less strictly limited, you know.
Yeah, in any limited format, this is going to be a fine removal spell. And
yeah, you should play it.
Time.
You should play it.
Yeah.
So you think that's good?
Yeah, moving right along.
Do that.
Next up, we got our next Regent.
Yeah, Deathbringer Regent. You know, these 7 mana big guys, and some of them are good, some of them are trash, but this guy I think is definitely on the higher end of the scale. This guy's the most you'll pay for a card in this whole set, actually. He's at the very, very top of the curve, you know. And one could say Icefall Region is definitely better. The Red Region is probably better, you know, for constructed play.
Oh yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really like this guy as maybe a one-of in a blue-black control because he's potentially an extra board wipe against those extra aggro decks.
You know, people always say
the only problem is that he's 7.
Yeah,
man.
That's what I was going to say. People always say that, and I always say it too. I hate paying so much for cards, but I don't know, in control, like, eventually you'll be able to play this guy somewhat comfortably. It's just, you know, it's all about getting there. At 7 mana,
probably won't last that long.
They'll just blow you out before you can play this guy. So
yeah.
He's kind of a standard trap. I will say the thing I like most about this guy is that he'll be a great like dollar rare to put in your cube. I think he's really good for cube play. So, you know, aside from that, I don't have much to say about him. But yeah, we can probably go on from there. This is Defeat. Now, at first glance, this is quite a powerful card, but I have at least a couple of arguments against it. Now, it is removal. It is removal. You'll likely play this card, don't get me wrong. A one-of in your sealed pool, that's more than fine. But we have literally strictly better cards.
This is not a combat trick of any kind because it's sorcery speed.
Sorcery speed, that really hurts the card. You know, it does kill your morphs and your manifests and stuff like that.
Yeah, it takes out plenty of reasonable creatures in limited.
Yeah.
You can see plenty of use out of it as a one of, maybe a 2 or 3 of, if you get that many and you don't get any other form of removal.
Yeah, that's the thing is I might play 2 of these main and sealed, but then like board any other copies that I get. Yeah, Defeat doesn't even do well against Dash. So I don't know. You'll probably, like we said, you'll probably play this, but I don't think it's as good as it looks when you first read it. No. But here's a card.
Moving right along, we got Duress.
Duress is back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Reprinted Duress.
Man.
Yay.
Hey. Well, are you okay? You all right with that?
Oh yeah, I love Duress.
Duress is good.
Yeah. Because once Thoughtseize rotates out of Standard, we're gonna need something to take its place. We'll have Despise and Duress, and that way we still have 2 counters, 2 good
discard spells.
Yeah. Look at your hand and choose a card and make a discard.
Yeah, I mean this is the exact opposite of Despise, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's getting more relevant because we're seeing a lot of control in the meta. Now, we've still got our tokens decks, we've still got Abzan, but blue-black, and from what we've seen in blue-white in this set, it looks like blue-white control may finally be the thing that we all wanted it to be. So control is more relevant now, making Duress, by proxy, more relevant. So, yeah, I like Duress in this format.
Indeed. Moving right along.
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's your turn. Is it?
I just did Duress.
No, I could have sworn I talked. Yeah, I talked the whole thing was me talking about Duress. So I'll talk about Dutiful Attendant because I don't have much to say. I'll say that this is a card I like way worse than Gravedigger. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I hate the fact that you're trying to force a card to die so you can get a better creature card back from your graveyard to your hand. Don't get me wrong. Basically, really what that means is you're just going to try and chump block with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing that, and this isn't incredibly Christmas land because he is a common, but you get in the dutiful attendant loop. If you get two of them, you know, you play them, you get the one guy back, you chump block, and then you know,
just
you keep doing that.
You always will have a chump blocker that way, but for 3 mana.
So the dutiful attendant loop might be a thing, but I doubt it. Aside from that, I mean, we all know and love Gravedigger, and this has 1 less power at 1 less mana. But it's not just like when he enters the battlefield, it's when he dies. And that makes him a little more quirky.
Yeah, if it was still enter the battlefield, or even as it is, if it was just 2 power and 1 toughness, since you want to chump block with him, at least that way you can like swing sideways with him.
Yeah.
And if they block him, you get extra effect. If they don't block him, you get 2 damage.
This is one of those guys you're just like, I want him to die right now. You know what I mean? Block him. I dare you to block this guy. You know, and we do have one more thing, I think. We have exploit in this set. So you're more able to sort of control what creatures are in your graveyard, and when he dies, you're able to control that.
Yeah, this is true.
So he might be solid in sealed, but you know, this card says mediocre to me. He has added value. Added value is always good. He replaces himself, but it's a very conditional replacement effect.
Yeah,
so.
Since Devin just made the exploit thing, I'm sure the exploit limited deck will become somebody's going to try and make
something.
That
although
this guy does slot into that really nicely, actually.
I don't think we have enough stuff with exploit. First of all, I think that a lot of people waited a long time for that ability because a lot of people love that on like Cartel Aristocrat and stuff. I'm one of them, and yeah, we finally got an ability, finally a keyword ability that just does that, and it's not as good as I would have wanted it to be. So I hope we see exploit more in the future. You know, it seems like one of those evergreen abilities. They could bring this back in a later set if they wanted to.
Moving right along, though, we've got another piece of actually great limited removal.
Yeah, I think this is fair removal.
This is Flatten. At 4 mana, it's target creature, -4 until end of turn. At instant speed.
Yeah.
And it's a common.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a card called Throttle we had in Cons Limited. And it was the same card for 5 mana. It's 4 and a black.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it was either the same or a very similar card for 1 extra, so it's strictly better than that. If that is the case, I'm almost sure it was, and people still played Throttle in Limited, and so you'll play this. You'll play this in Limited, definitely. That's good removal.
Yeah.
Not in Standard or anything. But if we're talking about 4 mana instant speed removal that might see play in Standard, I'm going to let you talk about this next card.
Alright. Next up we got Foul Renewal.
Love the art on this thing, too.
Yeah, that is true.
I want it in foil, with orange foil. Looks
good.
Yeah. Let's talk about this card for a second.
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you think?
Target creature card from graveyard to your hand. Target creature, where it's the toughness of the card returned this way.
Right. So you get a guy back and you kill a guy, and it's instant speed. And it's splashable.
If this was return him from your graveyard
to
the battlefield,
that would be busted.
Then
if that was the case,
I would be completely behind this.
Everyone would. That'd be one of the better cards in the entire set.
Yeah, I would be completely behind this. However,
I really like this. Go ahead. You said however. Go ahead.
I can see a standard option for this, but it's not something that would be a very common thing. It would be some form of control deck with black where your big finisher is going to be something like Pearl-like Ancient, where you have like 7 toughness, and you know, for some reason
a lot of big toughness creatures in the format about now.
This is true. So there's plenty of toughness
all
creatures
the
you can target with
Gurgans,
that.
all the Dargans that we see right now, and not only that, but all the stuff that's sort of meant to go in the assault formation deck in Standard. The thing that makes creatures hit for their toughness instead of their power.
Yeah, I will say this much. There is an added bonus of this that since it's neg-X, it does kill indestructible guys.
Indestructible. It also lets in Abzan. In Abzan, it gets your Siege Rhino back and kills a guy. As a thought. I just now had that thought. So.
Another important thing about this is some of the gods have been seen play in like some top 8 decks.
Okay, you see it occasionally. Yeah,
you see it occasionally.
It's not entirely uncommon. Now, I will say a thing before we go on about this card. Sort of my quick argument for it is that soon, in the next few months, Hero's Downfall rotates out of Standard. I think we'd agree Hero's Downfall is the best removal card in Standard. Either that or Murderous Cut, but probably Hero's Downfall.
So you think maybe after Theros rotates,
possibly
things are going to slow down enough to where this 4-mana instant removal is actually more relevant.
The issue that I have with that statement, though, is that once Theros rotates out, we also lose Commune with the Gods, we lose Seder Wayfinder, so we lose some of the ways that we put cards into the graveyard. Yeah. You know, which that makes this card better, being able to pitch stuff into your graveyard. Again, like you said, it doesn't put it in the battlefield, but it's still nice to have a good selection of things to return and kill a guy with. But there's just something about this card. I don't say that often. Notice, I've said this before, I hate Magic cards. I hate 90% of Magic cards, and they're all bad. But there is something about this card that I can't stop thinking about. I always come back to Foul Renewal. I think this might be a contender, man. We might see this at some point in the future. Maybe not right now or anything, but at some point in the future, we might see this.
All right, so Devin's calling it, and I'm not seeing it, so I'll
There's one vote for and one against. You guys are the deciding vote. Let us know in the comments. How do you feel about Foul Renewal? Let us know. Yeah. But we can move on.
Foul Tongue Invocation. This is the next series in those Reveal a Dragon card. It's actually not that bad in limited. Gain 4 life for 3 mana as they sacrifice a creature at instant speed is not bad. That's icing on the cake.
This one is the least dependent on revealing a dragon of that whole cycle.
It's completely good.
Yeah,
you will be able to get all the value you need out of it from
gaining 4 life is fine, but just edict effects is what we call these. Edict effects are always good, especially in sealed. This is quite good. So and also in this sealed, they're slightly better because there's an increased chance that there's going to just be giant creatures on the other side of the board. Like that sacrifice effect is going to be more relevant and a harder choice for them to make. So I do like Foul Tongue. All right, here's another Foul Tongue card. Honestly, weird Foul Tongue. I just like to imagine that he goes around cursing all the time. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it kind of looks janky. But Foul Tongue Shriek, we were talking about how Damnable Pact gives you that couple of extra points of damage you need to finish out aggro. I think that you could make the argument this does the same thing. In sealed, I don't know about it because I feel like it's a wasted slot a little bit. You're not going to win the game off the back of it or anything.
Unless you happen to have just the lowest mana curve of creatures in sealed that you can play in between 2, maybe 3 colors. I just don't see it.
I don't see it in sealed either. But in a standard deck where you play warriors or something, you try to plan around something like this.
Yeah.
I could see, my call would be I could see play testing with this, but ultimately probably it would get cut, But this is at least interesting enough to test with. Maybe a silver bullet, I wouldn't play 4 of this or anything.
Yeah, not only that, but at 1 mana, it's really actually potentially really good because I can be between 2 creatures, that's a shock.
Yeah.
Between 3, it's a lightning bolt.
Yep.
Between 4, you're doing...
Stoke the Flames,
Stoke the Flames at 1 mana.
So, at 1 mana. But that's all I'm going to say about Foul Tongue Shriek for now. I'm interested in this card, but ultimately I think it's probably not an inclusion. Ultimately. We'll see.
Limited, no. In Standard, I'm actually going to call this. We will see this card in Standard in some form of black dual-color aggro list. We've been talking about red-black aggro.
Yeah.
And this will slot into that.
Pretty well.
Nicely.
I mean, you get all the 1-drops in red-black aggro.
Exactly.
So this seems good. Maybe.
Not only that, but you get Rabblemaster and Hurtling Outburst and Dragon Fodder.
Yeah, all the tokens generate. That's another thing is with token generators, this plays very well.
Grave Purge. 3 mana instant. Put any number of target creature cards from your graveyard on top of your library. Draw a card.
We have seen this effect before. This is a reprint with a different name.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah.
For starters.
I know it was in Mirage and then later on in something else, but it was a different name.
At best, you might want this 1 bomb creature back, so you can put that on top and then draw it. Yeah. But and then
in that way, it's a Raise Dead for 2 more mana than a Raise Dead. And that would be kind of meh. Although there is always the trick with this card used to be to not put any creatures on top of your deck.
Just draw a card. I can totally see that. Yeah. I can totally see that.
So
yeah, that is actually
It's not
kind
good.
of great in a limited format like that. Because
Yeah.
it's 3 black mana at instant speed and draw a card, and there's
And
no drawback.
There's no drawback to drawing the card, and it's flex because if you do need to put creatures on top, which you'll need to do that occasionally. So I don't hate Grave Purge, but I don't particularly like Grave Purge either. I think it's kind of maybe a wasted slot a little bit.
It depends on your limited pool.
Yeah, that's true.
If you got better stuff,
I don't want the
use
kind
better
of
stuff.
I don't want the kind of limited pool where I'm like excited about Grave Purge.
Yeah, but you got to look at it from the fishbowl sometimes.
True. Yeah.
Moving on, we get
Hand of Silumgar. Hand of Silumgar is good. Hand of Silumgar is quite good, especially in limited. I'm mostly talking limited here.
Yeah.
But I do like in standard and constructed. I like Aire of the Wilds from Khans. He's a 2-mana 2/2 Death Touch, and he's got a ferocious ability. So he's got a lot more icing than this guy. Strictly better in a lot of ways, but this is still quite good. This is still quite good. You can make an argument that if that card sees standard play, that maybe this card has some kind of place. But at the very least, in limited, this is very, very good.
Oh yeah, 2 mana 2/1 Death Touch.
Although before we move on, I like to say I do like Typhoid Rats better.
Everyone likes Typhoid Rats, but
Well, I mean, you pay one less mana, you get basically the same card.
Yeah.
The thing with this is that you can intimidate with it. Like you can swing in and be like, block it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can do that with Typhoid Rats too. But you get double the damage off of this guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
The guy's good.
Hedonist Trove.
Yeah, Hedonist Trove. Have it.
Yeah. This is such a fun card.
It's absolutely.
It's such a fun
It's
card.
absolutely. Yeah, this is a party card right here.
I totally love this card.
This is the card that when you played in Commander, everyone at the table except the guy you targeted is like, oh! But go ahead. I know you have some things to say about Trove.
I love Hedonist Trove. I'm going to try and build with it just for a casual thing.
Yeah.
I do not expect this to see play in Standard, or anywhere outside of...
I don't see it.
outside of tabletop play,
Yep.
casual tabletop play, I really don't see this making play anywhere.
Expect to see this at the lunch table.
But that's what I plan to do with it. I plan to do a casual deck that is just all about the mill and this.
Yeah. That's what it's for. That's what
Yeah.
it's for. I mean, I would hate that if Hedonist Trove was like a huge card in Standard a month from now, but it won't be, so we don't have to worry about that. Trove is the most fun card ever, but you won't play it. You won't play it. You won't get to that much mana.
Ever.
So
Anywhere. If I get this in limited, I would sooner... I'm not going to tear it up. I'll put it in a binder.
I wouldn't. You're not playing this limited. Now,
no.
conversely, if this was, you can do that with your graveyard.
Yeah.
That'd be quite a good card. But as we see now, I wouldn't get too hyped for Hedonist Trove. Up next is Kolagan Skirmisher. He is a 2-mana 2/2 in black. We don't see that every day. Aside from that, he's meh.
Meh.
This is
another
the only
warrior
time in
for the
history you've ever
warrior.
been able to dash in your Scathe zombies.
Yeah.
Your 2/2 vanilla guy. I mean, I don't even like this guy.
Because he dashes for 1 more than it costs to hard casting.
Yeah, I don't really get it in this case.
I would rather this guy be like one of the bulk rares that we get that dashes for like 1.
If he dashed for 1, he'd be fine. Actually, if he dashed for 1, he'd be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't be broken or anything, but he would see standard play if he dashed for 1. I'll tell you that right now.
Meringue River Skeleton.
The lemon meringue.
Yeah. We get another one. 2 mana 1/1 that can regenerate. In limited, that is a fine blocker all day.
Yeah, regenerate is a very good ability in limited. Everywhere else, set it on fire. It's a terrible card. So up next is another card similar to that. We got Marsh Hulk. This is Undead Minotaur, but it megamorphs. So yet another strict upgrade of a fine limited card that will not see play anywhere outside of that ever again. Ever, ever. Marsh Hulk is terrible outside of limited, but a fine limited card with his giant ass and decent power,
I wish his megamorph was just 1 less.
It's freaking 7.
Yeah, it's 1 more than it costs
We complain about those 7-mana dragons that you megamorph up for 7 and they give a counter to every other dragon. This is way worse than those. We complain about those. So.
Yeah.
But still,
But
he's got a
6
great
mana,
body.
You get a 4/6.
Yeah, he's got a good body. Probably the best thing we could ever say about this card is his name is Marsh Hulk. He actually looks like the Hulk.
Yeah,
He's like, smash! I don't, not only do I not like him when he's angry, I don't like him at all. We got, this is yours.
Yeah, this is mine. This is Mind Rot. Fine reprint.
Hey, Mind Rot. It's
Moving
back.
on.
Best art ever on Mind Rot? Maybe. I really like
Best
it.
art that I can recall seeing right now.
Best art for foil of any mine rot. Definitely. That would look really sweet in foil.
Oh yeah, that looked real sweet.
So I'll let you have the next card because that didn't count.
Fair enough. Minister of Pain, 3 mana, 2/3.
Sounds like a professional wrestler. You know, Minister of Pain. That's great.
And Minister of Pain, 3/2/3.
Yep. He's 3 mana 2/3s are fine.
Yeah, and he gets exploit, and its creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. So that's potentially a 1/1, board wiper for the that gets rid of the 2 mana 1/1 regenerate that we just saw.
Sort of the high profile bolster targets that we see.
Yeah.
This gets rid of some stuff.
It gets rid of plenty of things.
Yeah.
So
I think it's fairly relevant and limited because you're going to play 3 mana 2/3s anyway. I don't like having to exploit a guy to get that added effect. That's my problem with exploit altogether, though. So I don't know.
It's icing on the cake.
She's technically better than 3 mana 2/3, so I'd probably give her a chance at least. Up next is, I think this one's mine.
Oh yeah.
Can I take? Okay, this one is Pitiless Horde. And I think maybe I don't know that we've talked about this card yet together, but I think this card might break through.
I think it has a better chance of breaking through than Master of the Feast, which was a double black and 1 colorless 5/5
if you didn't,
flyer.
I don't know if you saw my spoiler on that, but when I spoiled this card, I compared it to Master of the Feast. It is better than Master. It doesn't do its combat damage more. Like Master flies, the evasion is important.
Yeah, Master flies, but it gives your opponent the card advantage, which you don't want to do.
Never want to do that.
That's why it never saw play. It's a 3 mana 5/3 where you just lose 2 life at your upkeep. There's the 3 mana 3/3 flyer, which is Herald of Torment, and that sees play.
Occasionally,
Yeah, so this being a 5/3...
more than relevant.
Yeah,
sucks that it doesn't have any sort of evasion or anything, but I don't know. I think that people will test. It sucks it's a berserker, not a warrior. This could just as easily have been a warrior. That would have been fine. But I don't know. Maybe a chance. I mean, he's either 50 cents or he's $3. He's not going to get much higher than that.
Yeah, moving right along. Carsey Sadist, 2 mana 1/3. So those are traditionally good. We always see play. This has icing on the cake in that exploit.
Yeah.
But it's drain 2.
This is that nasty icing. Because exploit should be so good, but it's like, I don't want to sacrifice a guy and they lose 2 life. Like, that's not good enough to lose a guy. I get that you gain 2, but it's just not good enough to lose a guy. I'd play this as a 2 mana 1/3. And that's a boot it. But that's my least favorite exploit ability, or exploit in the entire set.
Yeah.
Pretty definitely. Up next,
Rakshasa Gravecaller, 5 mana 3/6 with exploit, and when he's exploited, you get 2/2/2 zombie tokens.
I kind of like it.
I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of that. I think that's a great uncommon. Normally, with demons, we get a really bad drawback. Just having to sacrifice a guy for this effect is not exactly a drawback.
Well, you look at this as 5 mana for 7 power.
Yeah.
But you're losing some of your onboard power to do that.
Yeah.
So, I'm simultaneously a fan and not impressed. It's kind of a weird play. Because 7 power spread amongst 3 creatures and 6 toughness on this guy, that's all very good. That's all very good. And getting 3 creatures for the price of 1, that seems fine, Up next, we have Reckless Imp. Reckless Imp I think he's kind of bad. Now, in the dash deck, he's good because he's your evasion. He'll probably net you 4, maybe 6 damage over the course of the game. And that's good, but he flies at a low cost, but doesn't block huge dragons in a set full of huge dragons. And I can't get over that.
Yeah. As well as the 1/1 double strike flyer in white. There's so many decent flyers in this cycle for limited and everything.
No. Again, if you're building the dash deck, this is one of the only evasion guys you'll have, and that's fine. He may deal 6 damage for you over the course of the game, but that's the only thing I think he goes in. I don't think he goes anywhere else.
Next up, we get Risen Executioner.
I certainly don't like him. For now.
If that black enchantment that lets us make zombie tokens becomes a thing, then yes. Between these 2 cards, there's enough synergy, maybe.
Yep.
because
Oh, definitely, because that card makes him cost less to play out of the graveyard, and your zombies get the +1/+1. You know, all of these are very good.
Yeah.
He's got synergy with that card.
yeah, so that's potential to make these kind of cards work. I can see how they can work together. Also of note, strangely, he's a warrior.
Yeah, that is weird, but he is. This has,
Which is why if this was like other zombie/warriors, since it you know, if it did both of his types,
that would be cool. Yeah,
then yes,
I would
Especially
like that a lot.
especially since he's mythic rare.
Yeah, no, this looks like the bulk mythic of the set. Looking at it, but you know, we've got, as far as zombies go, we've got that enchantment we just talked about. We got Blood-Soaked Champion, which comes back. It won't be in your graveyard, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This guy that we got coming up is a 1-mana zombie, so
Yeah.
who is relevant. And so we see some things. We see some things with Executioner.
I
It
will
looks better
say-
than he did it at when we first got him spoiled. It was a relatively early spoil.
And in limited, I will say that there's zombie synergy. You could you could try and focus on a zombie style synergy deck with this. Between the exploit guy that gives you the 2/2/2 zombies that'll
Yep.
become 3/3s, and
There's a guy coming up here soon that's a zombie.
There's 2 guys coming up that are zombies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't like cards that can't block in limited, but I think he might get over that hump a little bit, you know. Definitely. So maybe Risen Executioner, maybe.
Maybe.
Now here's a decent card. This is Self-Inflicted Wound, and it probably will see standard play, definitely in sideboards, obviously. But this does lots of stuff for you. If I say Siege Rhino one more time, I'm going to throw up. But this, again, Siege Rhino.
Yeah.
But aside from that, this gets a lot of good stuff. We see, you know, Green Devotion is a huge thing. Tramoka. Yeah, because you don't have to target the guy. So yeah, I can see this. There's still gods like we were talking about earlier. Like, you know, make them sacrifice a god. So
Yeah.
there's things. Things.
All day.
And you were talking about, you know, you were upset, and rightfully so, that one card, the only thing it really can't take out is creatures with hexproof, i.e. Fleece Mainline. This gets rid of your hexproof guys too. So, you know, screw you, Ajute. But anything to add on Wound?
I wish it was instant.
Yeah, no, that's the one serious issue with the card.
Yeah. Aside from that, fine. It's just fine.
Yeah.
Fine little edict effect with some icing on it.
Get a little sideboard color hoser.
Yeah. Moving
Who's
right
this?
along, Shambling Goblin, black 1/1 zombie, and dies target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. We've
Yeah.
seen this plenty of times.
Yeah, he looks like Mog Fanatic at first glance, you know. But Mog Fanatic was you sack him, he deals damage to a target. So this is way worse.
Yeah.
But he can still take out a guy, and it's worth noting in limited that he takes out 2 toughness guys, you know, when he blocks them.
Yeah, this is true. Trying to think of the last time I saw this. I think it was a Fume Spitter. This is the closest thing I have to this.
Oh yeah, I remember that card. Vaguely. And these cards do see play in limited. So outside of that I don't know. But you know, this guy works with Risen Executioner.
Yeah.
Huzzah to that. So, and so does the next guy.
Yep. You want me to
This
take
is,
this one? Or
I'll
you
grab
got
this guy. This is
Word.
Sibsig, because I like the word Sibsig. Sibsig Icebreakers. This is a 3-mana 2/3. We talked about that being good. And when it enters the battlefield, everyone discards a card. So, you know, messes them up, fuels your delve, and all that mess. So, this may be fine, but only fine. You
Only
know?
fine.
This is like a 22nd or 3rd card. It's
Yeah.
definitely, you don't look at it, you go, Sibsig cards, yes! You know, you're not like hella excited about this, but it's fine.
Moving on, Sidisi, Undead Vizia.
Like Jafar.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks like Jafar, his outfit.
I'm just going to call this guy Jafar for the rest
Jafar.
of the video.
Yep, he should be Jafar in standard from now on, if he is in standard. Tony and I think differently. I actually like this guy a little bit more than Tony does, I think.
Yeah. Devin's a bigger fan of this one. I'm okay with a 4/6 Death Touch for 5 mana in limited. The exploit effect making him a tutor on a stick. If we find some synergy for exploit, then I can see him being great. He'll be exactly what the deck wants. Because he's going to be able to go grab whatever
if you can
answer
if you can turn that exploit into gravy, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and
So I can see it being
able to tutor for whatever you want and leaving behind a relevant 4/6 Death Touch body, that's so good. 5 mana is not that much to ask for that. I don't think. Now maybe in standard we have better stuff. Tassiger is a better card than this if you're looking at similar-ish cards like cast and cost to PT ratio. But I definitely think that this also may have a chance. I don't think we see a single true standout card in black. But if I was rating the cards in black, this would be in the top 5. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, let us know what you feel about Sidisi, because we're split. You guys can be the deciding vote on that one, too. Coming up next, we're almost done here. This is a Silumgar Assassin, and he is pretty cool. I like this guy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely like this guy. I hate that it's power 3 or less. And you have to work really hard to get it. You have to pay 3 and then pay 3 to flip him up. But, you know, he kills a guy.
Yeah.
So he's fine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, I don't know about standard at all.
Not unless morph decks become a thing.
Yeah, if they do, then maybe. But even if they do, then the black morph deck probably won't be a thing, you know?
Silumgar Butcher. Let's see. 5 mana 3/3 with exploit and yeah, potentially takes out a guy when you exploit.
Seems good.
It's fine.
For sealed, seems good.
Yeah.
The only problem I have is usually guys like this are really good in sealed, but you have to kill one of your own guys to take out one of their guys. So, I don't know.
Really,
seems worse than usual.
It's technically one for... Using this as a 1-for-1
It's a 1-for-1. Yeah. I mean, you get to choose what guy you kill.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of choice in it for you, but I don't like him as much as I normally like cards like this, but I'd probably still play him in sealed, ultimately.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up next is Akud Cobra. We really won't say much about this, but I do like this card. He's strictly better than Pillarfield Ox, which is a fine 23rd card on its own. He's got 1 more toughness, and he's got a very, very relevant ability on the ground.
Yeah,
so.
Death Touch. He's going to be able to kill anything he blocks.
Yep.
And
stick around a lot of the time.
Yeah, and stick around a lot of the time. And then if anything does happen to kill him, he's definitely killing it too. Unless it's got first strike.
Remember in the Scorpion in Sealed, the 1/3 for 3 mana Scorpion that had Death Touch in Sealed? Everyone played that guy in Sealed. This is just 1 mana more, and you get an extra power, 2 extra toughness. Like that guy's really good. So, all right, y'all. I think it's yours.
We get a reprint of Ultimate Price, which is just fine.
Yeah, though this is good.
Yeah.
This will see main deck play in some things. So.
And plenty of things.
Yeah, like maybe Blue-Black Control.
Yeah, kills Monastery Mentor, kills Rabble Master,
kills
so many good things.
Oh, it kills
Those
100
just the
good
two
things,
most
dude.
relevant things that come to mind. Because
It kills
I've been on a token.
Tassiger, Wingmate Rock. I could probably do this all day too. It kills a lot of stuff. Hornet Queen, Arbor Colossus. We could keep going, but we won't because it kills, you know, about 6/10, or let's say 70%.
It's Ultimate Price, and it's been done before.
It kills 65 to 70% of the relevant creatures in Standard, so this is a good card. Doesn't kill Siege Rhino, but whoever. Next is Virulent Plague. Now, the question with this card is it better than Drown in Sorrow?
It's more splashable than Drown in Sorrow?
Right.
But...
And it's not a one-shot. This is an enchantment.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. I feel like it is. Because you only have to get one of these out there for it to become relevant. And if you get more than that, then that's neg 4, so that eliminates some of the things that we have that let you put tokens of creatures into play.
Yeah, like Monastery Mentor is crying right now because of this card, you know? Like, this, seriously, just forever, they can't play tokens, more or less.
Yeah.
You know? And this, I think this is fine. I think it'll see board play in Standard, more than likely. You know, see a lot of good support in black, but no, like, real standout bombs or anything. But this is one of the better cards. Drown in Sorrow is very good, and it busts up more aggro strategies than this will, but when we're talking about tokens specifically, this is very good. The last 2 cards are slightly more boring, but go ahead.
We got Vulturous Aven.
This is the kind of exploit I can get behind, by the way.
Yeah, 4 mana, 2/3, and when you exploit him... Oh, and he's got flying, which is relevant.
Flying, man.
He's not just a 3 mana, 2/3 exploit guy to finish off the thing. He actually has flying for 1 extra mana, so that's relevant.
When you exploit, you sign in blood.
Yeah.
When you exploit, that's good. To me, that's one of my favorite exploit cards in the whole set.
Yeah.
For limited, obviously.
Sign in blood on a flying stick, and it's a common.
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
I can get down with that. I F's with that.
Moving on is something that I am not in favor of.
Nope.
But I love the flavor.
I do too. It's just a big old turtle tomb going. Wandering Tomb Shell is a 4 mana 1/6 that doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
It's a +1/+1 bonus from your Risen Executioner. But aside from that, this just kind of sits around your side of the board like, whoa.
Yeah, it blocks all the things, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
It'll kill 1 toughness guys, and you don't care.
Yeah. What a stupid card. Like, they should make sure that All cards that are the last thing alphabetically in a color are somewhat exciting. That's a weird design limitation to put on them, but yeah, you should. Speaking of that's it, though. That's probably it.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll have the video up for blue tomorrow. Blue's next, and blue is a very interesting color in Dragons of Tarkir. The last two colors, blue and white, here are going to be, those are both very good colors.
I'm sorry, guys, in advance because I have so many things to say about blue.
Yeah, blue might be a little bit longer than some, because I've got some things to say. But I think blue is one of the more interesting colors, so we can be forgiven if we talk slightly longer about blue.
And we've said it before, blue is, between the two of us, one of our favorite colors.
Easily both of our favorite, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah, we're excited for that, and you guys should be too. Keep checking in with SBMTG. You know what to do. Comment, leave those comments in the thing where there's a thing for you to comment on the things. And like, share, and, of course, subscribe, because that does us a lot of good. And then you'll be able to hang out with us whenever we put a new video out. We like hanging out with you guys.
If we can get enough subscribers going in the future, maybe we can start a podcast.
Yeah, we're thinking about a podcast. I've been thinking about doing subscriber giveaways. If anyone's interested in that, get us to 150 or 200 subscribers, and we'll give you a play mat or something like, let us know what you guys feel about that. We're really into y'all's input, just in case you didn't know. It's important to us, very much so. We love, the last thing I'll say before we end this video here, I think, this applies to both of us, definitely, is that we're still a relatively small channel. When we see your comments like, good video, guys, nice vid and all this really helped and all, that makes our entire week.
Yeah.
That
makes the, all the hours we put into shooting and editing really worth this.
Seriously, neither of us had edited a YouTube video before we started this channel. It is, if you ever want to start a YouTube channel, just a quick tip, it's a lot of editing. It is hours and hours of editing. So when you guys leave comments like that, it really does. It sounds mushy, but it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. A whole heck of a lot. I'm Dev.
And I'm Tony.
We'll see you guys tomorrow with Blue. Thanks, Wizards.